Okay, we're recording. We're going to start with Mark Daniels, followed by Mike Giardi. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
All right. Matt, how would you just assess where the team is at after this first week of pass?
It's a unique, obviously, season, and I feel like every team's in the same boat, but we feel like we have a lot of groundwork to kind of lay down. So I think we've started laying down that groundwork this week. We've strung together some good days, some competitive practices, but we still have a ways to go. And I think as a football team, we just need to focus on trying to improve and execute each and every day. Start trying to build consistency, dependability, trust, and just take it one day at a time. And I think we've done a good job of that so far, but we realize that we have, a lot of work to do.
How difficult of a challenge do you think it'll be for some of these undrafted rookies and unknown players to make their mark when there are no preseason games? And what type of advice do you give to the players with this different type of summer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a unique time. But the thing is, every team and every player is in the same boat. We're all in the same situation, and everyone's trying to prove themselves and earn a spot on this team. Nothing is going to be handed out around here. I would encourage those young guys as well as veteran guys like myself to just take advantage of every opportunity that they have, and that goes for opportunities that'll happen on the football field and off the football field. Being locked in the meeting room, putting in extra work, trying to make sure that you recover the right way, and then obviously going out and trying to execute on the practice field. Just live in the moment and try to take advantage of it and enjoy it. I say this every year. We're so blessed to be doing what we're doing. You should find some enjoyment in it, and I hope that those guys are doing it. They should be proud of the opportunity that they've earned for themselves and try to make the most of it.
Thank you.
Next question, Mike Giardi, followed by Butch Stearns.
Matthew, good to see you. I'm just
Likewise,
curious.
sir.
I'm just curious. Do you ever get lonely? You're doing all that work by yourself. Do you ever get lonely over there?
It's a little bit different. Obviously, my routine has evolved over the years, but I'm grateful to be working alongside some great coaches and some great specialists. I really enjoy spending time with those guys. It's unique. I realize I'm in a very unique position, but I try to just focus in and find joy in my work each and every day and try to refine my craft. I never feel like I've done enough. I always feel like the coaches are challenging me to be better, but no one challenges me more than myself. And, I enjoy the process. So it is a very unique situation that I'm in. Sometimes you feel like, man, I wonder how my guys are doing over there in the receiver room, or I wonder how my guys are doing on the back end in the secondary. But there's plenty of time for me to catch up with them. My focus is just trying to get better, trying to work, and again earn my way onto this football team.
And if I can just follow up, you said you feel like they continue to challenge you, but you've been doing this for so long and doing it at such a high level. Can you be taught anything new at this point, or is it just about refining technique and an approach to each situation?
I do think that there are things that I can be taught to do. I look at players like Justin Bethel or Cody Davis, and then having the chance to work with them now hand in hand. There are things that they do as a part of their game that I don't do as well, and I think that I can try to incorporate those things. So I think the saying goes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. This old dog is still trying to learn new tricks, and I embrace that challenge. I think you should never get to a place where you feel like you have it all figured out. You should always be searching for more knowledge, more understanding of the game, and trying to improve yourself. And I think when that process stops, when you stop evolving in that way, then it's probably time for you to stop playing. And I don't think I've reached that point yet.
Thank you, Matt.
Absolutely.
We're going to go back to Butch Stearns, followed by Zach Cox. We had this problem with the last time. We'll go to Zach Cox, followed by Phil Perry.
Hey, Matthew, this is kind of along the same lines as Mike's question there, but I'm just curious how you put together that routine that you go throughout the course of practice. Has it been unchanged for the last couple of years, or is it something where you're constantly adding new elements to it, taking elements away? What goes into that process?
Yeah, it's really amazing to think about how things have evolved for me as a player over the years. Well, I think early on in my career it was more about effort and just understanding schemes. It's still about effort and understanding schemes, but I think now just refining techniques. And there's so many little things that come into play, especially when you talk about, let's say, for example, a position like gunner, where a lot of times it's going to be 2-on-1. You need as many tools in your tool belt as you can possibly have to try to win those matchups. So I think we go back, we look at film, we see the areas that maybe I've struggled in, and we try to go find answers for those problems. And that's the beauty of the coaches that we have here and the way that they think. They're always trying to provide solutions. And then we'll go drill that. We'll create drills, and then Cam will have a script for me. Hey, today this is what we're going to work on. And depending on what the emphasis is in practice, if it's the return game or if it's coverage units, then we'll go drill those things. And I think for me personally, that's been, very beneficial. It's no different than a receiver running cone drills and working the top of his routes. For me, those hand-to-hand techniques or finishing on the returner or blocking schemes and techniques, that's my game. So I'm really appreciative of our coaches being so detail-oriented and going out there with a plan and a purpose, not just kind of just slapping it out there. I really feel good about the plan we have each and every day. It brings me a lot of enjoyment.
And a quick follow-up, if I could. You mentioned Cody Davis earlier. He's a guy who's played a lot on special teams over the last couple of years. Is he someone you looked at and studied before he came here? And what's your impressions been of him since he's gotten here?
Yeah, definitely. I've watched Cody since he was at the Rams. And when he was at the Rams with Coach Bones, they did a lot of stuff schematically. And then the thing about Cody that really jumps out is for a guy his size, how well he runs. I mean, Cody can really go. And now being around him in a football setting, I got a chance to meet him off the football field, but being around him in a football setting, he's got a very high football IQ, especially in the kicking game. So I think being able to have some of those discussions as we learn to work together and play together has been huge. Now seeing how he plays, getting a feel for his speed. It's one thing to see it on tape, but to actually feel it in person, it's really impressive. So I think he brings a lot to the table. It's exciting to be able to play with a guy like that, and we look forward to continuing to work together.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt.
No problem.
All right, next question, Phil Perry, followed by Eric Rube.
Hey, Matthew, thanks for doing this, sir.
Absolutely, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I'm curious, after being in the building now for a few weeks here, how comfortable you're feeling with all the protocols that are in place for COVID, how safe you feel. And I'm wondering if it was a difficult decision at all for you to decide to play football in 2020. Obviously, several of your teammates decided to opt out this year.
Mm. Yeah, great questions. And you know what? I'll say this. I don't want to lose sight of the fact that having the option to go back to work or not is a blessing. There are so many people that don't have that choice. They have to find a way to provide. They have to try to find a way to pay bills, put food on the table, and they don't have that choice. So to be in a position to have a choice like that is a blessing, and certainly was thankful that I had that choice to make. I think for my family and I, we just prayed about it, and we felt comfortable with the decision. Felt like God was calling us back to football for several reasons. And as far as what's going on here in the building, I feel comfortable with the way things have gone. Our staff has been tremendous. The measures that they've put in place, along with the NFLPA and the NFL, I think they've done a great job so far. And it's just going to be one of those things that we have to monitor and stay on top of one day at a time. We can't get lax. There's still a pandemic going on, and we have to be very intentional about the way we move and operate around the building. And so, I feel comfortable right now. And again, as I said, our staff's doing a great job, and we'll see how it goes moving forward.
Matthew, do you take it upon yourself as a veteran leader to talk to your younger teammates about not getting lax with some of the protocols that you guys have to deal with now?
Yes, I think it's important for us to have that communication and trust with one another. If we're going to be able to do this successfully, it's going to take all of us doing our part. And I know that we all are here because we love football. We want to play football. We're thankful for the opportunity that we have. but there's going to be an added layer of responsibility this year that we haven't had in the past. And not only does that fall upon the younger guys, but that falls upon older guys as well, the way we conduct our business, and realizing that, our individual actions can affect the whole in a huge way this year. So we'll have those discussions. We've already had them. I think communication, transparency, those things are going to be huge for us this year. And again, just taking it one day at a time. I can't tell you what's going to happen next week. I can't tell you what's going to happen this weekend. We just try to take things one day at a time.
Thanks, man.
Good to see you, sir.
You too, bud.
We'll go. I'm sorry, I lost a little track here. Eric Rue, was that you?
Yep. Matthew, hope all is well with you today.
Thank you, sir.
I'm asking about with Jake. What impressed you with Jake Bailey last year, and for you, how different was it working with a right-footed punter versus working with a left-footed one, as kind of in the past year?
Yeah, definitely. For the entirety of my career up until last year, I had played with left-footed punters, and certainly a lot of things changed between righties and lefties. But that was a transition that was pretty smooth for me. I don't have to catch the punts, so that was a pretty smooth transition. The thing about Jake that makes him so unique, in my opinion, is just his leg strength. I mean, this kid can hit the ball a mile, and he does it with great consistency. And he's really worked hard to refine his game on a lot of different levels. And the thing that I've appreciated, and I've been really fortunate to play with some great punters over the course of my career, and probably the reason I'm still playing because they've been so good. But the humility that exists there amongst those guys has been fantastic. And Jake is no different. He's a humble kid. He's always looking to get better. He always takes ownership and responsibility in what he's doing, and that goes a long way. He's a great teammate, and you really appreciate working with a kid like that. And we have a really relationship on and off the football field. I love playing with him. Like I said, I got to get my legs loose and ready to go when he's kicking that ball, because I know I'm going to be running for a long time. But he's a weapon for us in the punting game. He's a weapon for us on kickoffs, and it's been a little bit of an adjustment, getting used to coverage angles and doing things a little different, but it's been a great addition for our football team, and we're excited about trying to get better throughout the course of training camp.
We're going to come back to Butch Stearns and see if we can try this one last time. Try again, Butch. Well, something clearly isn't working with Butch's line, so we'll, I think that's all we have. Oh, nope, sorry, one more question. We have Mike Reese and Zach Cox. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. Matthew, great to see you. Most of all, just want to say hello, just because it's a little different now with everything going on. And
good to see you.
Definitely. You might have already answered this. If you did, we can just pass right on it, because I just jumped sort of into your room here. But I wanted to get like sort of a big picture feel from you as to the team and the spirit around the team, and just sort of coming together as a team, where you see this sort of Patriots team is right now.
Yeah, Mike, it's really great to be back with each other, working together. The virtual aspect of the offseason was challenging for us in many ways, obviously from the football side of things, but I think relationally it's really tough to pour into relationships and build those bonds that you need as a football team, over a Zoom call. So I think for us now, being face to face, being able to spend time around one another, it's been very encouraging. And for the hours that we're in this building, you're kind of able to put down your guard, take your mind off all the things that are going on in the world, and just enjoy one another's company, enjoy the gift of being able to play football. So that's been fantastic. I hope that we can continue to build on that. We have some ground to make up in that department, obviously relationally, and obviously football-wise too, that we need to work with a sense of urgency. So when you talk about football and where we are, I think we just have to take things one day at a time. We understand that training camp is a process, and that process involves, putting down the foundation for which you're going to build the season upon. And, well, we're trying to do that now. I think our focus needs to be on taking things literally one session at a time, whether it's on the practice field, which is the most important thing we do, or in the meeting room. We have to be intentional and focused. As is the case with any football team, any year, there's a lot of change on our team this year. So we're trying to, evolve and find who we're going to be this season. And that's going to be a process. But I think you have a lot of guys in this locker room that are embracing that process, who are thankful to be playing football. Let's be honest. We're all thankful to be here playing football with everything that's going on. We're going to embrace our opportunity, and we're going to see where that gets us as things progress.
Matthew, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.